Hello everyone, welcome back to this new video. In this course, we are going to learn how to make first-person game in Unreal Engine 5. We are going to make this game, so without any delay, let's get started. Now, we have to open our Epic Games launcher. So in it, what do we need to do is go to this web market and we have to import our environment. And here you are going to search it, then yeah. Now you have to search this thing and here you are able to see this is our environment. Now you have to select it and go with create a project, and after it will ask you to download this environment. Now this thing may take a while, but I have already downloaded it. So let me open my project. So it will ask you first to save in your library, and then you can go to this my library view, and here all the projects will show up, and from here you can go with create a project and choose the folder where you want to save it and give it a nice name, and then go with 5.6 address and then go with create, and it will take a while, so you have to wait it. As I told you, I have already downloaded it. So let me open my Unreal Engine project. So when you open your Deadlight corridor, this thing will pop up. Now, what do we need to do is, you have to select anywhere here, like let me select this thing, and press Z on my keyboard to go into game mode. So this thing will hide. Now let me, so if you don't know how to move in the environment, you just have to hold your right click on your mouse and press W. Then you can move towards, and if you hold S and right click on your mouse, then you go to backward. And same with holding A to move this side and holding D to move this side. And now let me play in my environment. Like this is the environment we are going to work on to make a realistic game. Now here we are. Now we have to open Unreal Engine 5 once again to import some of the assets that are need for a project. So here we are. You have to go to this Unreal Engine and open it, and then go to this game sections. And after it, select this first person game, target platform like desktop, quality preset maximum, and variant you should choose arena shooter. And here you have to set the project location where you want your project to be saved. And here you can give your project a name, whatever you want. And after that, go with create. Here we are. Now, what do I need to do is press Control and Spacebar key. And here I need to migrate some of the folders. Let me select this one, variant shooter, and let me select this one too. Let me select this characters and let me select this variant shooter. With holding control, you can select both these folders by separately. And right click on your mouse, and then there is an option you can go with migrate. So now I'm going to migrate these two folders, and you have to like go with okay. Now here you have to select a folder where you want to migrate these two folders. So I'm going to select, so you have to select your environment project and content from it. Like select your environment project, whichever whatever name you gave it to, and you have to go to this content and you have to select folder. And now this thing will take a while to migrate these two folders completely in our environment project. Now it's done. Now let me close my project. And if you are confused what I'm trying to do, then it's all right. It's completely okay. I was also confused when I was learning these things for the first time. Now here you are able to see variant shooter, and here you are able to see characters. These both folders we have migrated recently. Now, what I am going to do is go to this variant shooter, go to this blueprints, and here you are able to see PP shooter game mode. What is game mode? A game mode basically controls your game. You may know this thing earlier. So now, let me decrease the size of it for a while. And here, if you go to this world setting, and here you are able to see game mode override. So what I am trying to do now, select this BP shooter game mode, and I am going to place it here. So now let me play the game. How can we play the game? Let me go to this button and play this. Here we are. We are able to see our character. Congratulations, you did it what we needed to. So now we can move with our first person character. So now you are able to see the way our character look like it's a complete robot. It's not looking very nice. So it does not look good in our game. So we are going to change it. So we have to import the new character in our game. How can we do that thing? So first let me like moving from here to there like here. Yeah, here we are. Now we have to import in other character which is look realistic in our game. So let me press ESC key on my keyboard to exit our game mode, and you have to go to this window tab and then go to this fab. What is fab? Fab is basically a platform where you can find assets for your project. It can be paid or free, whatever you want. You can also download here already templates for your project. Fab is almost like a Sketchfab website if you're familiar with it. So now we are going to search it here, a survival character. And this is a character which is looking a lot nicer than the robot we have in our project. So now what do we need to do is go with this add to project. Now it will take a while to import in our project. Now let me head back to our project to see if this survival character is imported or not. Let me close this and let me press Ctrl and spacebar and see if, yeah, here it is survival character. It's completely imported. Now we are heading to our VPN. Now I want to hold a VPN in my hands. How can I do that thing? So let me just go into this tab and let me go to this variant shooter and then go to blueprints and then pickups and then let me drag this square in our viewport. And basically this is called viewport. And now I'm going to change some of the settings of this square and let me go to this details tab and let me go here to raw name and then let me select here pistol. Now let me play the game and let's see if this is working or not. And here we are, we didn't pick our gun in our hands. We can pick our weapon in our hands and we also can fire. Here we are. But the problem is we the pistol doesn't look realistic. So we also going to add a realistic pistol or weapon in our project. So we are going to import it from the fab. Let me go to this fab again. And let me search it here. Pistol. So now we are going to change the pistol mesh or replace it with another. So let me select the price of it like free. And then let me go to this like semi-auto pistol G17 and select the license like personal. And then we are going to add to project. Now this will take a while to import in our project. So now it's completely done. So now let me close this web market and let me see. Yeah, here we are. Our VPN is imported here in our project. So now the first thing I'm going to do is change my character. So this is so let me go to the variant shooter, let me go to this blueprints and BP shooter character. And go to this viewport and here you are able to see this is the character we have in our project. So now what do we need to do is press Control and space bar key and go to this like survival character and let me go to this meshes and let me select this one and let me drag and drop it here to change it. And after it, let me select another character and also do the same thing. And now let me compile this thing and let me play the game and see if it's working or not. And here we are, it's working. It may be late for a while, but it will be all right. Yeah, here we are. We can run in our project. So now we also want to change the VPN. But congratulations, you have made it too far. Now you guys know how to import any data in your project and replace it and give it a realistic look. So now we are heading up to a VPN and we are going to change our this VPN to any other realistic. So we already imported our pistol mesh. So now let me go to this variant shooter and blueprints. And after it, pickups, and let me go to this VPNs and pistol. Now I'm going to select this one and we are going to replace it as we replace our character. So let me reduce the speed of it like this. You can reduce the camera speed and you also can move with holding W. Now this is the FP VPN. So we are going to play our them in the first person. So we are going to change it only FP VPN. But if you want, you can go with TP VPN too. So here's the skeleton mesh, and I am going to like I imported my pistol right here on the fab. But here we have the static mesh of our pistol. So I am going to convert it into a skeletal mesh. So how can we do that thing? So you just have to select this and right click on your mouse and then go with this convert to skeletal mesh and convert it. And here we are. We have the skeletal mesh now. Now I'm just going to drag it and drop it here. So now our skeletal mesh is imported. Now what I'm going to do is let me select this and compile this and let me scale it. So how can we scale this mesh? So you have to just select this one and scale it like this. Like I'm going to scale it on all axes. So like this. And I'm going to rotate this. How can you rotate this? You have to select this one. And when which axis you want to rotate, you can go with that. Let me disable snapping. So here we are. Now let me scale it a little more. So let me match it with our existing position like this. Yeah, like this. Now you can do one more thing. If you want, you can also change the TP VPN. So let me do this again. So let me drag and drop it here and go to this FP VPN and then let me copy this transform location of this FP VPN and I'm going to paste it here. But somewhere I just let me copy all the properties of our FP VPN of transform and going to paste it here. So it will merge in at the same location, rotation and scale. So let me compile now and yeah, now let me play my game and see the difference. Here you are able to see we can't able to see the third position of our pistol in our hands. So now we have to adjust it a bit. So let me press escape key. Now what I'm going to do is let me press Ctrl spacebar key and go to the content and let me go to the status. But before that, let me delete this one and then let me go to the maintenance, meshes, and this is skeletal mesh. Maybe things are going over your head. Don't worry, you will understand it slowly. Now, to change the position of a pistol, we have to select the hand button. How can we do that? So here we have to come here and press hand R. We have to change the position of our pistol. So we have to select this hand R, and this is our right hand. But inside it, there's another bone and ripper. So now let me select this and copy this name. Let me press Ctrl C on my keyboard, copy it. And now what I'm going to do is let me go to the survival character, which we have imported, and then go to this skeleton mesh. And here we are going to write it and write and and we are going to select this and add another sorted, which we have and rip. So how can we add a sorted? So you just have to select this and right click on your mouse and then go with add sorted. Now Let me select this hand sorted and let me delete the name of it and paste the name we copied. Paste the exact name here. So now I'm going to play my game and let me select hand repa and let me scale it. So now you are able to see, this is our VPN in our game mode. So I'm going to adjust it in our hand like this. And this is the way you can adjust it. It could be better than this. You can spend some more time on it to look more realistic. But for our purposes, it's looking perfectly fine. So now let me draw with this. And here we are. Yeah, this gun is looking nice in our hand. Yeah, for our purposes, it's looking completely fine. So now let me play the game and see how the things working. Like let me go. Yeah, if you press yourself across the wall, then this will animation we have in our first person character. Yeah. Now we are almost done with our character and our pistol. Now we will import the enemies in our object. Let me go here and then here we are. You can also spend some more time on your pistol location so it will be perfectly grip in your hand. So it's on your own, depend on you. So now we are going to import some enemies in our project. Now we need to go to our Google and write it here with someone. It may ask you to sign in first, so you just have to go and sign in for it. And after that, this landing page will come up. So now search it here zombie. So here we are. We have some different type of zombies here. So you can select any one of it. Like I want to go with and see how does it look like. Now this character will be nice to me because it feels like horror, and also you can go with any one of it. The process is almost the same. So we have to import the animation of it too. So I'm going with this, and now let me go to this animation tab. So we need three important animations. Let me download it one by one. The first one is ideal animation. So I'm going to write it here. Ideal zombie. And here we are. And this animation is looking nice, I guess. Ideal animation. So I'm going to import this. And then you can also can go with any one of it, whichever suits your character. So I'm going with this. And let me download here. Draw, press it here. And then everything should be default. But make sure it's here with the screen. And yeah, here we are going to download it. Yeah, it's downloading here. So next animation we need is run zombie. I'm going to write it here, run zombie. And yeah, these four animation we have brought, and you can go with any one of it. I'm going with this. Yeah, yeah, this is nice, I guess. I'm going with this, and you have to again go with download, and here you have to select without skin and download it. And the last animation we want is to attack zombie. Now these are animation we have brought, so you can go and select any one of it. Like let me see if this is looking nice. Yeah, this is the looking nice address when he attacks you. So I'm drawing with this. So let me again download it here and then select without a screen and download it. Now we have to import all this animation in our project. So let's go back to our project, and here we are going to make a new folder in our content. And how to make a new folder, you must know this. Right click on your mouse and then go with new folder. And I am here going to write it here, zombie, and go inside this. Here we will import all the animation and the string of our zombie character. Let me go to the download and first drag this into your project and drop it here. Check this import to keep all the settings by default. And now we have imported the first ideal animation and our character. But now we are going to do the same process again to import our zombie running animation. Drag it here and drop it. And again, our last animation will go to drag it and drop it here. Now imported, done. Now what we will do, here we are able to see skeletal mesh. So we will drag this in our viewport. And now let me play my game. Yeah, it's latent, I don't know why, but it will be all right after a while. So now this is our zombie character. So now what do we need with it? Now we basically want our enemy to chase us, and the moment when they see us, they can attack on us. So we will build that logic now. So now for that, I need to create a blueprint class for it. So how can we make a blueprint class? So we have to select somewhere here, house and go with blueprint class. And I'm going to select character here, character, sorry. So let me rename it BP underscore var zombie. Now let me go inside this tab. So now here you are able to see, if we select this and we are going to see this skeletal mesh asset. So let me drop my skeletal mesh here, and now we can see our character right here. Let me just rotate it here on the 90 address. Yeah, here we are. Now what we are going to do is compile this first. We'll go into this email graph, and here we are. Here we will make a code which performs as to chase our character. And for that, let me select all this and delete it. And right click on your mouse here and add a node like AI move to. So this node we are going to add to chase our character, and we are going to connect this one to event, custom event, and rename it run to player. Now maybe you are confused here, so but slowly you will get all this idea what I'm trying to do it here and how to make a logic here to run after a player. Now we basically want the code chase the enemy. Now here we are going to add another event called event begin play, and we are going to connect this to run to player. Now basically when we start to play our game, this code will run. And what is this code is run to player. Now basically this is the code what we will build in this or connect the nodes with it. So this will run. So I hope you get the basic idea of it, what we are going to do. Now we are going to connect target actor to get player controller, and also we are going to select pawn and connect it to self. What does dead player controller is? Dead player controller will help us to figure out who is the enemy. So we dread this one. And here you are able to see on success. So what should he do when he succeed, and what he should do when he fails? So on both cases, we are going to add a logic on it. So when he succeed, I am going to write it here, connect this node to play animation. And when he succeed, so this animation will perform. And here you can drop any animation, but here I am going to drop our attack animation. Like this is zombie punching, I guess. Let me see it. Yeah, it's a zombie running, I guess. This is a zombie punching. Yeah, zombie punching. This is now I want when he succeed on chasing to us, so this animation will play up. I'm going to drag this and put it here. And also do one more thing, set this acceptance radius to like 150 radius so that our enemy character won't overlap our main character. So now let's see, compile this blueprint, and now let's see if it's working or not. All the code we have written here, is it working or not? So how can we do that thing? So go to your viewport and select this and delete it here. And now the blueprint we have made like blueprint class, and we have to drag it here like here. And now in order to make this blueprint work, we need to add nav mesh sounds volume. If you add that, it basically adjusts where your enemy can move. Now, how can we add nav mesh? So you have to draw it here and write it here, nav mesh bounce volume. And let me press G on my keyboard to go into game mode. And now I want to scale this like here. Here we are. Yeah, it's completely on the this axis. I want to also rotate it on the y axis. Let me move it like this. Yeah, here we are. I have to go where I set the logic. So our nav mesh, we succeed. We have added our nav mesh. Now let me press G again on my keyboard, and we are going to do one more thing. Go to this build and build paths. Yeah. Now let's play the game and see if it's working or not. Here we are. It's working. When I play the game, the enemy is chasing us, and when he succeed on this, he playing that attack animation. So yeah, it's working. But still now we have a lot to do. We have to add health system and all that. For first of all, we need to add animation blueprint to add ideal and run animation. As you're able to see, when we play the game, the ideal and run animation of an enemy is not looking realistic. So we are going to add that blueprint class where the animation of our enemy character is looking a lot more realistic than this. So now we are going to add another folder here, right click on your mouse, and then go with animation blueprint. Now we have to search and install a mesh here. So this is called zombie ideal. I'm going to select it here, zombie ideal, and create. Now I'm going to rename it ABP, like animation blueprint, rename it ABP underscore was zombie. Now let me go inside this. We want to keep things simple and clear. We will just add idle running state. So now let me connect this node to state machine. And I'm not going to give it any name, so I want it to be default. And let me go inside this, and here we are. Now this is a basically state, so we will connect to this to add a state, and we will give it a name like idle. Also, we will dread it here to add another idle, sorry, another state, and we will give it a name run. But I want to like this. Here we are. And also we need to connect back and forth, draw from run to idle. So here there are two transition effect we have, so we will set it up also. Now let me go inside this idle, and here we are going to add our idle animation that we have got. This one zombie idle, and ready to hit here and connect this one to this. and compile this. And also go to this like new state animation and go into this run. And also we are going to add our zombie running animation, and we are going to connect this one. Now let me come back. Now what do we need to do to set our transition effect? Now we have to set transition effect of idle and run. For that, let me come back to our zombie blueprint, and here we are going to add a variable. So how can we add a variable in it? Go here, you are able to see a tab, and then click this add one to add a variable, and we are going to write it here. Is it running? So what is variable? Variable basically is like a memory. It keeps our data. So now we are going to adjust it to this boolean. So what is boolean in variable? It's a basically what can I say, state where true or false condition it is. So now I am going to read this and set it is running, and I'm going to connect this one on, and also I'm going to check this on, and after that I'm again going to connect this one to set it and connect to this play animation, and I'm going to uncheck this one. Now let me compile. Now we have to go back to our animation blueprint. Here we are. Now we'll go into the event graph, event blueprint update animation. So I'm going to connect this node to cast to BP var zombie. And also I'm going to select this return value to connect this to our object. Now what we are going to do, the boolean we have added, so I'm just going to drag it here to get is running. And here we are going to set in other boolean variable here the same of is it running or not. Let me go here and add a boolean like ABP, is it running? Let me drag it here and set it. Now I'm going to connect this one and connect this one to this. Now with this node we are going able to set the transition effect on. So now compile this. There are few errors. It will be all right. Now let me go to this animation graph, go to inside this and select this ideal. And here what we are going to do, the variable we have added here AVP is it running. We are going to get this get, and we are going to set it and connect it. So it is a true. So we can run from ideal state to the running state when this AVP is it running is true. So to bet we can set this to false. Like let me read this one and like also did it here, and then go to this like connect this one to like equal, and we are going to connect this node to this one. So now when the ABP is it running is true, we will go from idle to run state. But when we come back, ABP is it running will false, we will play the data state. Now also we have to one more node here to play the montages. For that, I'm going to drag this to add a slot default shot. Now this add-on will help us, or this node will help us to play the montages. Let me compile it here, and here we are able to see no errors, so it's completely fine for us. Now let me come back to our BPP var zombie and go into this viewport, and let me select this one, and here you are able to see animation mode. So we are going to select this one and go with use animation blueprint. Animation nm class will be like, we are going to write it here ABP var zombie. So we are going to select this one, and now we will able to run the blueprint we have created ABP var zombie, in which we have added idle and run state. So now let's see if it's working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. Our game is working. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our game is working or not. So let me like cross this both, and let's see if it's our Now, this is the error occurs. So why this thing is occurs? Because as I've told you, I'm going to the PP was zombie that we add a node here to play montages. But here you are able to see we have not set up it here. So what we are going to here do here, let me delete this one. And on success, we are going to select this play montages and target will be like mesh. And let me, sorry, this is the wrong node we have added. Yeah, this is the node we want. So let me go with mesh to install mesh component. And we are going to connect this one on. And we are going to drop our attach zombie animation, thread this one to here. Now you are able to see here one more thing we need to do. Here we need to create animation montages to dread it here. So how can we do that then? Let me select my 3 animation sequences like this one and a zombie running, and also we want zombie idle. So let me select these 3 individual animation and right click and go to this create and create anim montage. So here we are. We have animation montages here. So I'm going to rename it anyway. Zombie punching montages. So you can also rename it to make things clear. But for now it's okay, and I'm going to drag this on and put it here. Now let me compile this, and now let's get in and see if our animation is working or not. But before that, let me select my animator and just move little bit backward. And also here I'm going to add a player start. So how can we add a player start? Go into this and then write it here, player start. So I am going to press G on my keyboard. Let me, yeah, here we are. Now move towards Z axis and rotate it like this. Now press G again to come back in our viewport. So now let me play my game and see the blueprint we have created, the logic we have made, is it all working or not? Yeah, it's working at this. But here you are able to see it's working only once. So what we are need to do is to set the loop animation. So here we have problem, and now let me fix this error. And for that, let me go into this BP was zombie animation blueprint, and let me go inside this, and let me go inside this and select this one. And after I scroll a while, this will come up loop animation. You have to check this on. Also go back, and also go select this one to run, and then here also check this on loop animation and compile this. Now you have to come to your viewport and let's see. Yeah, the error we are able to see is, yeah, it's still, we are able to see the error, and we will fix this. So after trying several times, I found out why that error was happening. So let me play my animation. Oh, sorry, let me play my game, and let's see if that error is occurring or not. Yeah, here you are able to see the error is not happening anymore. So how can we set that error? So we made a little mistake before it. So how can we fix it? So we have to go back to our Midsummer, and I've selected this animation. You can select anyone it, and you have to check this on in place. And after it, you have to go and download this. And remember, you should choose it without skin, and you have to download it. I've already done it, so I don't need to again. And let me go back to our Engine 5 project, and let me go to my animation blueprint, like where I saved zombie, and this animation blueprint, ABP was zombie. So now you have to come back to this running, and you have to replace here. Now replace the new running animation that we have downloaded it just now to our older ones. So after you've done this process, I hope so, the bug will be fixed. So you have to press this and delete this, and you have to drag the recent animation we have downloaded to this, and you have to just run it. And after that, you have to compile it here, and we are done. So now the bug is fixed. Now what you have to is to set the instruction once. When the montage of animation is when the montage of animation is played, like when our enemies are attacking us, So we want it to attack us again. So for that, let me open my blueprint, and here we have to set it like on completed to run to player. So when this montage is played for once, or this animation is played for once, so after that we need to replay the same logic again. For that reason, I connected this run to player to this one, and I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to connect this to on fail. If sometimes enemy fails to chase us, then this logic will run again. Now let's see if it's working or not. Let me compile this first, and let me go back and play the game. So here you are able to see the logic is working completely fit and fine. Once the animation played, it's happening another time. So let me press ESC step T on my keyboard. Now let me tell you one more thing. If you want your enemy character to attack you little more faster, for that go to your blueprint, and here you're able to see play it. So you can set up like crew 2. By default it's on 1, and let me compile this and let me play my game to see what changed. So here you are able to see that it is little more faster than before. So I am going to change it by default where the value it has like 1, but you can draw whatever you look fine to you. But the higher you set, the more faster it will attack. Now the attack animation is looking nice to me. Now zombie is capable of chasing and attacking us. Now we want our zombie to damage us. When he attack on us, in order to do that, we need to add line trace. So when the line reaches to us, the damage will happen. So now after that, we have to connect this run to player to line trace. Let me write it here, line trace by channel. And after that, this is a start. So I'm going to connect this node to date at the location. And for in one, we have to add a node here, date at the forward vector, and we have to multiply it. And right click here and change into to integer. And let me set a default value like 200 and connect this return value to add. Now I'm going to connect this one to this, and let me connect this one to int. Now this will be our int. Now let me set the draw diva type to for duration, so the line will visible to us. Now let's test our setup. Let me compile first, roll it, and play the game. So here we are. The red line we are able to see it's broad line, but here is one more bug we need to fix it. Here you are able to see when the line trace in hitting us is red, but when the line trace hit the object, it turns the color into green. We know that it's hitting something, but now it's total red. For this, we have to come back to our blueprint and change this trace channel to visibility to camera iris. And let me play the game and see if that is working for us or not. Yeah, here you are able to see green line, and that's the sign of its work. But let me do one more thing. Is acceptance radius is like 200. I'm going to set it like 150 iris. Now, what we need to do is now we need to apply some damage when zombie hit us, so the damage will happen on our character. So that we need to connect our line trace by channel to apply damage. And let me right click here and set this split struct pin, and let me connect this damage header to out hit it header, and the damage you want to apply on your character you have to set it here, and I'm going with 20 iris. And let me compile this. Now in order to receive the damage, we have to open our main character. So here we have set it up like to apply or to attack to apply the damage. But we have to go back to our main character where we will set a logic to receive the damage. Let me go to variant shooter, blueprints, BB shooter character. And here, somewhere here, we have to write add event any damage. But when you add a node in your BB shooter character, event any damage, this will happen. So what do we need to do is hold your control and deselect this, and also hold your control, deselect this, and take this to somewhere down like I here, And here we need a health variable. So here you are able to see we don't have any health variable. So we have to create one. So how can you create one is to click this add node and write it here health. And you can rename it whatever you want. And let me select here to integer. So why we select integer here? In programming, an integer is a data type representing whole number, either positive, negative, or zero, without fractional parts. So let me compile it first, and let me set it like the health. I want our character to be like 100 as normal. Now here we have added event any damage. So with this logic, we will receive the damage. Now let me grab my health and set it. And after that, let me subtract it and let me connect this damage to this one. And let me again grab my health and set it, connect to this one and connect this to this health. So this is a float and this is an integer. By default, it will turn float into integer. And let me compile this one. So this logic we have wrote it down here. So this will subtract the damage from health. Now here we need to do one more thing to display all this in our game. So here we'll add event state. And now we will connect this to a print string. Print string. Here we are. Now we need to drag our health here. Let me set. And here we are. And let me compile this. And now let's see if our logic is working or not. Let me get back to my game and play the game. Yeah, it's working, I guess. In the blue letters in the right corner, sorry, in the left corner, you are able to see we have 100 health. And after that, when the enemy is attacking on us, the health is reducing. Here we are. Now we have to do the same thing with our war zombie. We have to create logic of receiving damage. So let me go back to my war zombie blueprint. And here we are. Now let me select all this and press C on my keyboard to add command. And I'm going to write it here, run to player. Here we are. So here we don't have any health variable. So we need to do is create one. So let me create health variable. And here we need to select integer. And now we just need to compile this and set the 100 value. And here we need to do the same thing. Now let me add event any damage. And we will drag over this health and get health and subtract. And we will turn a damage to this. And we need to do this again. We have to drag our health, set the health, and connect this event any damage to set health and this to this one. Now it will turn float into integer and let me compile now. Now to display the health of a zombie, we have to set event it and add print string here. So we will do the same event it, connect this to print string to display our health in our game mode. And after that, we'll rate our health and connect this to this. Let me do this. And here we need to do one more thing, and we have to come back to our main character and we have to delete this. Oh, let me press control on my keyboard and let me disconnect this. So this will no longer display on our health on our RAM, and this thing will display. So let me compile now and let's see if my logic is working or not. Let me play the game. So let me go and pick up my gun, and after that I'm going to shoot it on my zombie. Now on the left corner you are able to see health of our zombie or of our enemy, and when I attack on him it's subtract from 100. So congratulations, you have been to this far. So now this logic is done. Now we need to set death of enemy. We have to write death logic. So how can we do that? Now let me open my war zombie blueprint, and after this, so now we need to connect this set to branch. So what is branch? Branch is basically a condition node where you can put the condition. If that thing will happen, the result will be this. So for condition we have to grade our health here, and we have to connect this to less and equal to 0, and we will connect this to this one. So when this condition is true, when our health is less or equal to 0, then we need to do something about it. What will we do now? So let me connect this to true, to set stimulate, like that simulate physics, like simulate physics. Now the target will be our mesh, our main character of our zombie. And when our enemy health is less or equal to 0, then that stimulate physics will effect happen. So check this on. So before compile, we have to select the mesh here and scroll down a little bit and find collision presets. So let me search here down. So here we are, collision presets. So you have to select it here, red doll effect. So your preset should be red doll here. So you will able to see the red doll effect. So now let's compile and play the game. So now here you are able to see when the health of a zombie is completely 0, or when less than 0, we'll able to see red doll effect of our zombie. Here you are able to see. So let me play my game again and pick up my gun and fire on my zombie. So here we are. So zombie will do this red doll effect when the health is less or equal to 0. Now what do we need to do is to destroy the actor so we can get rid of his body. So when I pick up this and when the red doll effect will happen, now we need to get rid of our enemy's actor. Yeah, so now we need to destroy the actor so we can get rid of our zombie. So for that we need to come back to our this zombie blueprint and now add a delay. And here I am going to set the duration of it like 6 seconds, I guess. And after that, when it's complete, I'm going to add destroy actor. So let me compile now and see what happens. Let me pick up my gun and fire. And after 6 seconds, yeah, it's destroyed. Now we are almost done. Few things just left. Now we have to set the sound. So for that, we need to import sound effects. So we can import it from Pixabay website and you can download it from here free of cost. And here you can search zombie attack. And I have downloaded this one, zombie bite. But you can download it from here and you can download any one of it. Like it's completely according to your taste. You can choose on your own. I have already imported it in my Unreal Engine Pro project. So you need to also download Gunshot and you can search it here and you can go with any one of this. So I've already imported it in my Unreal Engine project. So process is almost the same as we imported the animation. So here we'll need to open our War Zombie blueprint. So here we are. So when zombie will attack on us, the sound effect will happen. So after the damage, we'll connect this node to play sound at location. And let me grade my sound zombie attack and here. And you can also play it from here. This is the sound effect we have got. So now let me compile first. And here we have set zombie attack sound effect. Now we also need to set the gunshot sound effect. For that, let me open my character blueprint. So let me go to this variant shooter, blueprints, and here we are. And inside this play fire montage, we need to connect this montage play to play sound at location 2. And let me dread my sound here. This is the run shot we have downloaded it, and I'm going to dread it here. And now let's compile. So whenever we'll fire, this sound will play. Now we also need to set sound effect for environment. So when we play the game, the sound will run into a background. So we have to open our game mode. So for that, go to your viewport and here come into the world settings and click this. And this is the game mode blueprint. We have set it in our viewport. So let me open this. And here you are able to see there is an event within play. So when our game will play or start to play. So after that, I'm going to turn it this to play sound 2D. And for this, you can download any forest sound effect or anyone like for environment. And you can search on your Pixabay. So I've already imported one for it. This is the effect I want in my project. So let me write this and here. Let me pause this sound effect. So now let me compile my game and play the game and see how is it. Yeah, let me quit my run. And when zombies are hitting, the sound effect is happening. When I fire him and let's see is it working or not. Yeah, it's completely working. Yeah, it's working. So yeah, here we are done with everything. Now we just need one more thing to do is to set the zombie location in our viewport. Wherever you want your zombie to be placed to attack you, you just need to drag your war zombie blueprint there. So here I need my first zombie to chase us and attack on us, and the second I want it here like. So let me drag my blueprint, zombie blueprint, and place it here. It should be faced like this. Yeah. And after that, I'm going to place it here. So here I'm going to play one more zombie like here. And one more like here. Now let me play my game and see is it working or not. So let me, yeah, the zombie is chasing on us and I'm going to fire on them. Yeah, here we are. Now let me go a bit and see if anyone is still left. Yeah, that zombie is there. Actually, there are two zombies. Here we are. Yeah, we are done. Now I want to play this game one more time. And this time I will pick my gun and fire on it. So here we are. Now let me go here. Yeah, this environment is a little bit scary as you're able to see. Yeah, here we are. Now let's wait for a while and see the enemy is destroyed. And after that, we are moving towards. So here we are. So here we are. We are done with our game. So thank you so much for watching this video, for watching this tutorial. If you like this video, please share your comments below and let me know what your reviews are. And if you want to give me any suggestion, then go comment below. And subscribe the channel if you want. And if you like watching my video, subscribe it and click on bell icon. So whenever I upload a video, you will be notified. And once again, thank you so much for watching this.